Disaster is looming in Ruto's circle, and the one warning him is his friend and pastor from Zimbabwe.
We must pray for Kenya, and especially for their president. For their president. I saw a lot of things which will be shifting.
Prophetic Ndhlovu says betrayal is brewing inside Ruto's own house. If the president ignores it, or worse, tries to cut corners at the ballot, the fallout could be catastrophic.
Last night I had an encounter, a night vision, in which I was told that 2027 will not be easy for him. There is the threat of betrayal from some of the people he has drawn into his inner circle. We must pray that it doesn't make 3 unpopular decisions in 2026. Rigging may lead to bloodshed and protracted social unrest.
But that's not it. He says cracks in the government are widening, and unless Ruto plays his cards right, they will blow open, triggering revolt and costing him the presidency.
Steadfast in prayer, to pray for him. I see a lot of betrayal going into next year and beyond. I see a very crazy season of betrayal of people that are even in the inner core of his government. So let us pray for Kenya. It's like next year, there are 3 decisions that may be encouraged by the people, these people who have got the mind of betrayal, to make, which may backfire and it will lead to betrayal. So we must pray for him to really take his time before making certain decisions. One of the decisions will be a decision of a financial nature. It may cause a lot of outcry, and it may spoil his chances in 2027.
Hawa watu ya makelele hii wanasumbua, wanapiga makelele sijui mitandao wapi. Hawa watu wako na kazi ngumu sana. Kushindana na mimi, wako na kazi ngumu. Si mambo yao ni kuchora tu kwa internet na kuzunguka na fitina. Watu tawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema.
And it's not just pulpit prophecy. Gachagua is humming the same tune, only with fewer parables and more political punch. Warning, rigging 2027 would be Ruto's biggest political mistake. He claims the writing is already on the wall. Ruto's popularity is sinking, and if the president attempts to force a win, the backlash could be explosive. According to Gachagua, the country won't tolerate another cooked election. The Gen Z protest proved that the streets are no longer asleep, and a misstep in 2027 could light a fuse that even the State House can't contain.
Constituted is able to deliver free, fair and credible elections?
Well, I think they will, because they are Kenyans and they also don't want chaos in this country. A free and fair election is a must. And the way the Kenyans are feeling today, any attempt to play around with the elections could be disastrous for the country. I know the other day I said as much I was taken to task that I'm inciting people. I'm not inciting anybody. I'm just saying, listening to the mood of the country, showing the way people rejected the Finance Bill 2024. They would reject a flawed election 100 times more. And the consequences could be very disastrous. I am persuaded that these commissioners are part of Kenya. And this is their country, and they have no other country. And I have no reason that they will go out of their way to make sure that we have a free, verifiable, credible election. I want to tell the people of Kenya not to be worried that anybody can rig elections. It's very difficult to rig elections. The day electoral laws were amended, that the counting of votes is done at the polling station, made rigging elections very, very difficult. What we need are good agents, quality agents at the polling station, and the polling station results are final. What I recommend, and we want to ask IBC, is to do away with the bombers and the National Tallying Center. It is not necessary. The law as it is today recognizes the constituency as the electoral area for the presidential election. So the presidential elections are announced in the 290 constituencies. The matter should end there. Even you guys in the press room there, you can just add up the numbers and announce the president. This thing of bombers and tallying and transmission is where monkey business begins. The way to have a free and fair election, and we know the results by morning, same day, is to do the presidential tallying at the constituency. Once the elections are announced at the constituency, 290, the president will take the results and write them somewhere down. When they come from all other, people will just add, and we know who the president is, and nobody can tamper with that. It is not possible to tamper with 290 tallying centers. But this national tallying center has been the source of our problems since the year 2007.
Were there monkey business in 2022 at the National Tallying Center that made you?
There were efforts, but they were thwarted by the portal. But I'm saying that is not even necessary, because it takes 4 or 5 days to ease tension in the country. Let's devolve the presidential elections. The constituency is a presidential electoral area. If this Madeira constituency, where I come from, let whoever has won the presidential race be announced in Karatina. That will be added to Kamukunchi. That will be added to Ndhiwa. That will be added to Nyali. And by morning, by 10 a.m. the following day, because the counting of the presidential votes is number 1 at the polling center. Even the tallying, they tally the presidential results first. So it's possible that by morning, more than 240 constituencies in areas that have no challenge with networking, the results will be known. That is a way to deal with this matter in a very nice manner, so that we reduce tension in the country and we lessen room for monkey business or anybody who may want to interfere with the results. So let there be 290 returning officers for the presidential election, so that nobody can interfere with those 290 people, instead of having one person at bombers. And once those results are announced across the constituencies, everybody will just add up the numbers.
But even towards the voting day, there is the registration exercise that is ongoing. There is a new security feature that has been added, which includes the iris, and many are saying Kenyans were never consulted.
Yeah.
The previous registration exercise never included the same.
Yeah.
There is a new model. There is a new methodology. What is your response to that?
I think it is wrong for IBC to try to bring a new methodology, because out of the 14 million voters who are registered, are included, it's biometric. So when you introduce the iris, a new methodology, then which is which? Shall you be having 2 methodology of identifying the voter on the election day? That is creating confusion. And Kenyans were not consulted, and they were also not told why. Biometric has worked and worked well. Why are you introducing a new methodology? Unless you are saying we introduce it for everybody, including ourselves who are already registered, we go back for the iris. Yeah? So I think IBC is creating confusion, and these are some of the things now that are creating suspicion. You know the way this IBC was picked by Ruto and Raila, who are, buddies in the same coalition. Then when you start introducing things that are not clear and are not well reasoned, and they cannot be justified, because are you telling us we are going to have 2 methods of identification? Why are we having iris for the new voters, yet we don't have it for the existing people in the voters register? I think that is wrong. And I think these are some of the things you may see people are moving to court.
Are you planning to challenge this in court?
Yeah, to challenge it in court. And it will be stopped, because there is discrimination. Why are you having 2 methodologies? It should just be one. And even if it's there because it's not there in law, there need to be public participation. People of Kenya need to be persuaded as to why. Why are we introducing this new methodology of voter identification? So I think let IBC not try to introduce things that can bring confusion and things that can start bringing suspicion as to the intention of the introduction of the new methodology.
What makes these warnings more potent is that they are not coming from random individuals, but from men who have been in Ruto's own circle. A pastor who once prayed and has been praying for Ruto's presidency, and a former deputy president who helped deliver the win in 2027. are now both questioning whether he can or should survive the next one.